Welcome to the Unmute Your Midlife podcast, where we go from foggy and forgotten to focused and lit up. I'm Joyce, your nurse turned midlife resurrection strategist, and your go-to girl for all things health, hormones, and having your sparkle back. Today's episode, we're talking about your brain, your sleep, and why one seriously can't function without the other. Can we just have some real talk? If you're forgetting where your keys are, you're blanking on names, you're forgetting words mid-sentence or opening the fridge and standing there like you're in a scene from a rom-com, today's episode is for you. But spoiler alert, you are not losing your mind. You might be losing some sleep, and that's probably affecting your brain way more than you realize. So today we're going to dive into why your sleep is the secret weapon for your midlife brain, the scary truth about brain aging and what you can actually do to protect yourself, and a few biohacks that won't cost you a dime, but could add years of clarity and energy to your life. As my husband always says, if it's free, it's for me. And stay with me till the end. I've got a free sleep guide for you and an invite to my 30-day healthy living group if you're ready for some real support and accountability. So let's start here. Your brain is aging. Mine is too. It's normal. But what we don't talk about enough is how cognitive decline starts quietly, long before you're even close to needing a memory care unit. What shows up first? That word searching, where you can't think of the word. The forgetfulness. It takes you 4 trips to get out of the house in the morning because you've got to run back in and get things that you've forgotten. Trouble focusing, or just plain old mental fatigue. And what do we usually do? We just brush it off. Oh, I'm just tired. That's the catch-all excuse everyone uses. But what if being tired all the time is the root of the problem? So I'm going to nerd out on you for just a second. There's these little things called telomeres. Your telomeres are little caps on your chromosomes. If you've ever seen a picture of a genome chain and the chromosome, it kind of looks like an X. You know, it's got these 2 big curves that come together. So at the tip, the 4 tips of the chromosome of the X, those are your telomeres. Or you could think of them like the plastic ends of your shoelaces. When they get short or they start to fray, stuff falls out. When your telomeres shorten, your cells stop regenerating like they used to. That's where aging and chronic disease, and yes, even brain decline can begin. But here's the important thing. Lack of sleep speeds up telomere shortening. But you can slow it down and maybe even reverse some of the damage with better sleep, with clean eating, with regular exercise, and with managing your stress like it's your full-time job. Your brain has this built-in detox system, but it only works if you sleep. It's called the glymphatic system. You've probably heard of a lymphatic system. We've got lymph glands everywhere. This is glymphatic with a G on the front. It's your brain's natural janitor crew. It kicks in while you sleep. It flushes out toxic junk like the amyloid beta, which is the stuff that builds up in Alzheimer's disease. The glymphatic system does its best cleaning during deep sleep, not your 2 a.m. doom scroll, not your 5-hour Netflix binge night. I'm talking real restorative drool on the pillow, REM, and slow wave sleep. When you don't sleep, your brain stays dirty and foggy. So let's talk about one more thing, the circadian rhythm. It's your body's internal clock, and yours is probably totally out of sync thanks to phones, caffeine, late night TikTok binging, skipping meals, hormone fluctuations. Finding your rhythm is going to give you better sleep, and better sleep is going to give you a better brain. Here's how to biohack it like a boss, okay? Get some sunlight in the morning. Really, it's a non-negotiable because that tells your brain it's go time. If you're like me and you get up while it's still dark and you go to the gym and torture yourself with a trainer, you're not going to see that sunlight until a couple hours after you've been awake. There are some lamps that you can get that kind of simulate sunlight, but really the best thing is if you can be outside and witness that sunrise, that's your body's cue to start the day. All right, the next thing, you're going to start cutting your caffeine after 2 p.m. Don't fight me. Fight the science, okay? If you can eat your meals on a regular schedule, your gut talks to your brain more than your best friend does. And the last thing, sleep in a dark, cool room. If you can, sleep on your side. Some research shows that sleeping on your side actually helps to flush the brain better. So those 4 things are going to help your glymphatic system work like it's supposed to. to help clean up the brain, to help prevent the dementia, to help reduce your brain fog during menopause. Let me run through them again. Sunlight in the morning, no caffeine after 2 p.m., try and eat your meals on a regular schedule, sleep in a dark, cool room on your side. That's it. And that's all free stuff, right? So there's lots of wearables out there like the Oura Ring, the Apple Watch. I wear my Garmin watch at night. I've been tracking my sleep for a couple years, trying to fix it. The Garmin, it's a fitness watch if you're not familiar with it, and it rates your sleep on a 0 to 100 scale. Below 60 is poor, 60 to 79 is fair, 80 to 89 is good, 90 to 100 is excellent. I have gotten a few rare goods. I have never had an excellent, but I was consistently getting poor, like very low pours. And the big deal was I don't get into deep sleep, sometimes not at all. And sometimes it's only for a few minutes during the night. So I need more deep sleep. I do get good REM sleep. I have to wear my CPAP. It's not because of weight, obviously, because I lost all this weight and I still need it. I redid my sleep study. But what happens with women during menopause, the estrogen receptors, I've talked about this before, are throughout your body. It's not just a sex hormone. So there's this little flap in the back of your throat. And when you lose your estrogen, that flap becomes flaccid and it can kind of block your airway while you're sleeping. And it doesn't matter if you're on your side, your back, your stomach, it's going to affect you. I do wear my CPAP now. I used to get tangled up in it, and that was part of the problem. I have gone through every kind of mask on the market to find one that I can tolerate. I don't want to get the implant. So that's where I'm at. I am struggling with sleep just like the rest of the midlife women, but I'm actively working on it all the time to improve it because I know how important it is for my longevity and for my brain health. If you want better sleep, don't wing it. Now, I did make a sleep guide. It's got a sleep tracker. It's got a list of tips from one of the best sleep experts in the industry. But some quick tips I'll give you now. Start building a wind down routine at night. Start to dim the lights. I was actually reading recently that the LED lights that we have been switching all of our light bulbs out with, they have a high flicker rate and they actually can be very distracting for a midlife woman's brain. So whatever room you're going to hang out in towards bedtime, I would just use the old traditional light bulbs in that room instead of the LED lights. If you can turn off your screens, the TV screen, the computer screen, the phone screens, 30 minutes to an hour before you go to sleep, that will help you so much. I like to do this bedtime tea and I mix my magnesium powder in it. That way I don't have restless legs. Stretching before bed is good, especially if you've had a tense day or you've done a strong workout or you have gotten your 10,000 steps in. Your legs might need some stretching. I keep a journal next to the bed, and that is for brain dumping. Because when you get all cozy and you get tucked in, you're like, oh, I forgot to do this, or I forgot to do that, or I got to make sure I remember to do this tomorrow. It's going to keep you awake. But if you've got your little notebook right there at your bedside, you can lean over, jot it down, then forget about it. You just have to remember to check your notebook in the morning, right? And if you can keep your bedtime and your wake up time consistent, even on the weekends, that will help your brain so much. It will help your circadian rhythm. It's not about sleeping longer. It's about sleeping better. Now, all through high school, I only slept 4 hours a night because I worked, I did sports. I was a type A student that was trying to get straight A's. And so there just wasn't enough hours in the day for all the projects and all the activities I was involved in. As I've gotten older, became an adult, became a mom, there were always different reasons why I didn't sleep much. But now in midlife, I make sleep a priority and I don't feel guilty for taking naps. Yesterday, we got home from running errands and finishing up some Christmas shopping. It was about 1:00 in the afternoon. And I said, you know what? I am tired. I think I'm going to take a nap. I had the best nap. I slept for like 90 minutes, but I was so refreshed and so productive the rest of the day. Now, normally on a weekday, if I decide I need to take a quick nap, I will set a timer on my phone so that I don't sleep too long and then mess up my evening sleep. But you have to listen to your body. When your body needs extra rest, it's okay to slow down and take that extra rest. You are protecting your brain. Just tell your husband or your kids or whoever's bugging you about needing some sleep, say, hey, if you want me to remember how to wipe my butt when I'm old, then you better let me take this nap. I'm just kidding. So the wind down routine, this is where neurogenesis happens. I've talked about before the brain-derived neurotrophic factor. the BDNF. So another thing that helps with your BDNF is sleep. It's like a miracle grow for your neurons. You sleep well, your memory improves, your mood stabilizes, your hormones start to regulate, and you become that woman again. You know, the one who slays at meetings and remembers where she parked her car. All that to say, your midlife brain is not broken, but sometimes you might need to do a little reboot on the way you're treating it. So here's your wake-up call. You want to prioritize your sleep like your life depends on it, because your brain health absolutely does. You want to eat well, move often, hydrate, manage your stress. I didn't go into great detail about this earlier, but the glymphatic system, the way it works, your cerebrospinal fluid flushes out those amyloid beta toxins, the ones that can create dementia or Alzheimer's later in life. And in order for the cerebrospinal fluid to be able to flow and for your body to produce enough of it, you've got to hydrate. You have to have that minimum amount of water. And once you start doing all the right things, let's stop doing something. Let's stop thinking that fog, fatigue, and forgetfulness are just a normal part of midlife. They're not. They're symptoms of a problem. So don't ignore them. You can feel sharp, confident, and clear again. So if you need help with your sleep, go to my website and get the free sleep guide. You don't have to put your name and address in. You just click the link, you get an immediate download. I'll put the link in the show notes. If you want support or accountability, some meal plans that don't suck, I actually have a 30-day healthy living group starting up in January. We are going to have several nurses and personal trainers in the group helping to moderate it and give free coaching. So if you want details about that, just DM me the word healthy or send me a message, send me a text, send me an email. I'll get you the details. But that is your dose of midlife truth today. Remember, you're not foggy, forgotten, or finished. You're just getting fired up for your next season. If this episode shared some life for you, why don't you turn around and share it with a sister who needs some help boosting her brain power and unmuting her midlife. Until next time, sleep well, speak up for yourself, and stay unmuted.